I'm Ryan Bauer, and this is my video race report from the Hub Labels Cyclocross Challenge in Hagerstown, Maryland on September 11th, 2016. I had a front row call-up for this race because I signed up for the whole series and I needed it. After choosing the wrong gear, I was struggling to get up to speed and avoid getting passed by the field on the short grassy prologue. The finishing area of the course is paved, where it's easy to pick up a lot of speed before hopping onto some dry loops through the grass. Diving into the grass here, I was sitting 4th place, right about where I wanted to be. I chose to go with all-around tires this week because of the mixed terrain on the course. I might have been faster here with a file thread, but I was hesitant to switch because it was so dry that some of the sections were getting a little dusty and loose. After a few grass loops, we head to one of the more challenging bits of the course, a steep uphill corner. I was able to ride the hill without incident during the practice laps, but after watching a few earlier races, I decided to be ready to ride or run based on the racers ahead of me. On the first lap, the rider ahead of me dismounted, and I was ready to hop off my bike and run without losing any ground. The grass slope on the western edge of the course was my least favorite part of the race. Go up a hill and down, turn around and do it again. It was painful each lap, but on the first, this is where the attacks really ratcheted up. Here I got past going back up the hill, and another rider slid by going back down the hill. The backside of the course was very different from the front, with mountain bike style woodsy trails. I loved this terrain and was ready to make up some lost ground. I passed the rider ahead of me and started to catch back up to the riders who had just passed us. Unfortunately, I took a corner way too fast and went into the tape. Another rider went by as I got back onto the course. After that, I was sitting in 6th place, the position I would hold to finish the first lap. But before we finished that first lap, there were 2 other cool features of the course to point out. In a section near the woods, there was an excellent double rock jump corner. It was possible to ride this element, but the speed loss and risk of flat seemed too high for me. I hopped off my bike and ran it every time. The second unique feature of this course was the barrier setup. After a long, but not steep, uphill grass climb, we reached the second highest elevation of the course, overlooking the start-finish line. The barriers were set up just after the flat crest of the hill and at the top of a long, straight gravel downhill. Jump aboard, clip in, and hold on. Back to the race at hand. During the 3rd lap of the race, I got passed 2 more times. The first was when I dropped my chain. I think I should have spent a few more minutes on the limit screws of my derailleur when I switched from training wheels to race wheels. Thankfully, no damage was done to the wheel, just to my race standings. After a few seconds of adjusting the chain, I was back on my bike and riding. One rider went past me and another one caught up to me. A few minutes later, the rider that caught me was able to go past on the off-road section. He was on a mountain bike and was able to slip past and build a lead on the more technical terrain. I hung as close as I could to the riders ahead of me and could just see the next 2 riders up the road as we wound out of the woods. The finale was another long grass uphill. I finished the day in 8th place. I was hoping to do a little bit better, but it was the first race of the series. Overall, I thought this new course was excellent, with plenty of chances to pick up speed and a reasonable amount of challenging terrain. The next race in the series is 2 weeks away in Sykesville, Maryland.